Alright, so what I want to do now is fabricate the gun sight. We're just going to use not the wood dowel, but instead I'm going to use this plastic tubing from Evergreen. It's 1/8 inch diameter. A couple of straight pins, the smaller ones that I don't use so much anymore. We'll use those for the posts, and a little bit of masking tape for the supports for the gun sight. And we'll leave them with the pointy side down, so that when we get everything fabricated, we don't have to drill really for necessarily. I might drill pinholes, but we won't have to drill for this. We'll just be able to figure out where it goes and then press it in via the pin points. The fact that these are sharp enough to go right into the balsa. Alright, so we're going to just kind of work on that real quick, and then see what that looks like. That's probably good enough. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So we just need to cut a couple of strips of tape that fit with our fit with the profile here, and that would be easy enough if I hadn't already diced my tape. But let's see. Just need a couple of short sections of this. Alright, so this can serve as the wider area. So I'm just cutting the tape for the eyepiece end of it, and we'll just wrap that around. And what I did, I took a bit of sandpaper and just beveled the edge of the plastic. Here you can see where it's going to wrap this around. Nice, tight, straight, hopefully, like so. It gives us the eyepiece end of our scope, gun sight, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll secure that just with just wipe some super glue across that seam to hold that, keep it from unraveling at some point. We don't want that. And now we just need a little bit of a skinnier strip to go out toward the end of the gun sight. The machine had this airplane had two 30 caliber machine guns firing through the nose between the top cylinders on either side of actually the top dead center cylinder, and I'll be replicating those machine guns as well. I don't build a lot of warbirds. I prefer to celebrate man's achievement in flight, not so much his achievement at developing weapons of war. I used to love warbirds, and now I just see them as killing machines. But this airplane was notable in that it was really, it is the one and only aircraft ever designed to be deployed from a dirigible in flight. Flying aircraft carriers, which was a notion that just captures the imagination, I think, when you think of so here we want to mark where this post is. It's not critical now that the spacing between these two posts, what's really critical is that they are on a center line, so that they both come down straight in along the same axis. You've got one coming out of the side, obviously, and one out of the top or whatever, then you're not going to be able to attach this to the airplane. And if you do, it'll be catawampus. So you really need, and that's an industry term, catawampus. And you don't want to be catawampus. Nobody wants to be catawampus. Not even the cat who was originally wampus. wanted to be cattywampus. Alright, so we just use the head of a pin to get this hole started. And we only want to drill through one side of our, obviously we want to go right through it. I mean, I could, and then just doesn't matter, I guess, ultimately in the whole grand configuration of everything. And the other one just goes through the tape at the front into the plastic. So we just want to make sure, again, we're kind of centered one to the other. Where'd that go? Right there. So now I just need to drill through that area, hopefully on a straight line with the other hole. There we go, we're in. Alright, that kind of messed up the tape, which I expected to see, but I'm going to smooth that back out. Okay, so we've got our two holes. Hopefully they're straight up and down centered. Now we just want to cut the straight pins that we're going to be using. We don't want those to be too short. Remember, they're going to penetrate into the balsa at the top of the wing, right? So I'm going to leave them pretty long so that there's plenty of material. I guess they're showing the top of the wing saddle here, and they're and indicating they've got length. But I'm going to go ahead and add to that just a little bit more. I don't want them, in other words, if this thing is bumped, I don't want it to pull up the wing material. I want it to, if anything, it'll just bend a little bit. All right, so we want to take off, I think if we go at halfway on the pin, we'll be good. We'll just eyeball that, because again, you know, because we're setting this into the airplane, I can rocker it until it's parallel. It doesn't have to be based on the length of these pins. It'll be based on how much it's inserted, you know, to what depth it's inserted into the airplane. So if that makes sense. All right. So hopefully, got two good pins here. Hopefully they'll go into these holes I've drilled. And we'll have to probably go a little bit bigger with these holes. Use another straight pin to hog them out a little bit. So we just want to use this to sort of embigger those holes, bigify them, enlarge them, create an atmosphere in which they'll work with these pins. Get in there. Ah, there you go. So that's the one. Where's the other one? Here it is. And here's the other one. Let's see if we can get that to go in. Use similar hocus pocus. I have to probably be out here on the edge of my table so I can punch this one in. It's always a problem, Charlie. One guy that doesn't quite get it, the program. Oh yeah, that's a straight line. Okay. Well, we just have to hog that out a little bit more. So the other pin will drop in. Ouch. I just stabbed myself. It's funny. You know, it's funny. Doesn't want to go in there. Too good for his home. Alright. Now we just made it impossible to resist. Come on, buddy. There you go. Straighten up and fly right. All right, so now we're just going to repeat the process, this time using glue. This is glue. Strong stuff. Alright, we got the glue in the program. Let's see if we can get that in a straight line. Straight there, or straight here. Come on. Come on. Okay, so let's put a little more adhesive to it. There we go. Okay, that one is good. And now, hopefully that one is good. Alright, so here's what we've got. And again, we're going to insert this into the wing to about, I don't know, that depth. So you can see there'll be a good deal of the pin structure below the water line, as they say, adding to the extra, support that the part will need. And once we spray paint this aluminum, or actually I guess it's the body color, it'll be the light gray color, it'll look proper. Right, and now we have it where it's actually a tube instead of a chunk of wood dowel. And hopefully when we get this inserted to the airplane, you'll see that it's more than adequate. It doesn't look like much today, but by the time it's on and all finished up, it should look pretty good. Thanks for watching.